Hey everybody, Brian Falchuk here. I want to talk about something that I was actually writing about this morning in a blog post that will come out maybe in a week or so. I want to give it some more time, think about the idea some more. It's this notion of culture debt. And that's probably not something you've heard much about, but you may have heard of the term technical debt, at least in a business setting. So what is technical debt? Technical debt is the idea that, we have these systems in our work environments, the core systems that we use, and as they get developed, they don't always deliver on everything that's needed. Now, that could be because the budget was too limited, so it couldn't deliver everything. There just wasn't enough money or time to do that. It could be that the need was misunderstood. So the people who were specifying their need just didn't really know how to share what their need was. It could be because maybe the budget ran out. And so there was something, there were 100 things they were going to deliver and they could only get to 60 of them or 80 of them or whatever. Or because development takes some time, what you find is whatever we said we needed day one, when it came time for the final delivery of it, well, look, the world has changed. Maybe it's been a year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years. The needs change. The world evolves. The market evolves. I know I was in a company where we built a new system and transacting our products and services through the internet just wasn't done. And within about a year of the system going live, that's how everybody wanted to work. And so it's like, look, we just spent like $30 million and it can't even do, like the main way that people want to do business today. So that leaves you with this gap. And you can fill the gap a number of ways: workarounds, frustration, you just can't do what you need to do, or throw more people at the problem, or just ask too much of the people that you have. And so people get burnt out and they get frustrated. That's technical debt. I think a bigger problem is culture debt. And I talk about it in a lot more detail in this post, so something to watch for. But it's the idea that in our organizations, we have a culture. And I'm specifically thinking about organizations with a really good, strong culture. Maybe it's a smaller organization that's starting out from a place of everyone feeling connected and on board and amped up, and work and outside of work, it's like a blurred line because people love what they're doing and they love what they're a part of. But as the organization grows, as things get more complex, more people come on board, it's harder and harder to just keep the culture exactly as it was. If you have a small team of 4 or 5 people, really easy for you to be directly connected to them. What happens when you have 100 people on the team? One person can't manage them all. So invariably, you start to get disconnection between all of the staff, between leadership and the people doing the work on the front lines. You get this disconnection. This disconnection means you start to lose a sense of the culture. And it's actually a really scary thing for companies with strong culture. They don't want to lose any of that. Well, the thing is, you don't have to, but it takes real conscious effort, and it is hard, and you will change, but you can do things to keep that culture intact. And I believe, actually, culture is the single most important thing for any company. People talk about, oh, it's our people. Our people are the differentiator. You're our greatest assets. Look, that's true to an extent, but the people only are that way because the culture is right. And if the culture is right, you hire the right people aligned with that. And the people thrive in that right culture and don't feel disengaged, don't feel angry, don't feel like work is a chore, because they love what they're doing and where they're doing it. So to me, yeah, good people, absolutely hypercritical, but that follows good culture. And it's not about a great product, because someone else can always create a better product. It's not about good pricing, because someone else can find a way to undercut your pricing or provide better value than your pricing might be able to provide, and you may not be able to respond to that given your economics. And it's not about location or brand or any of those things, because again, those are all things that someone else could come along and do better than you on. So I think it's a really interesting thing to think about: culture debt. Watch for the article coming up, but what I'm most curious about, and the reason why I'm putting this video out earlier than the article's ready, is I want to know how many of you have faced that, or maybe you're in the midst of it right now, or maybe you're in an organization that has already passed that point, right? So the culture is already not where it should be. How do you claw that back? That's something I address in the article too, but that is a lot harder. So what I want to get on people's minds is that proactive defense of good culture. Put the right building blocks in place to keep what you've got and strengthen it rather than waking up 10, 20, however many years later and being like, where are we at? How did we get here? This isn't working. We're not seizing opportunity. Our culture and the way our people are behaving and feeling about working here is standing in the way of that. And look, this is true not just in business. This is for any organization. And it's kind of true for you as an individual too. But that's the kind of stuff I talk about regularly. How you view yourself, your values, really your internal culture. But I'm talking about organizational culture at this point. So something to think about, culture debt. Not a term we ever hear. So maybe I'm coining it for the first time, I don't know, but I want people thinking about it. Watch for the article, but please do post. Let me know where you're facing that and whether you think it's a real problem, how you've addressed it, how it's affecting you. I think it's something we all need to be talking about more. So with that, I will say goodbye. And remember, you can always find more ideas like this, other things I've got going on at brianfalchuk.com. And of course, I gotta see which shoulder to point to. Check out doadaybook.com as well. But if you go to brianfalchuk.com, you can see all of it, including other articles like this and the thinking I've got going on, because I think we all need to be thinking about these things. So with that, I will say goodbye, everyone, and I will sign off. Have a great day. Go out and do it. Thanks, everyone.